mystery. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and...
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail, Gaia, and this is Free Range. We graze on wild ideas. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the hurricane, the Milton hurricane, because right now Michelle Marie was supposed to be with us, but the storm just hit the land, and she's right there in Sarasota, and right near Tampa and all that. So that's why she's not here. But Jenny Lee and I are going to talk about that, and then we're going to move to angels and demons and spiritual beings that are here today, now, as we speak. So, and the world is changing big time. So let me bring Jenny on. Welcome, Jenny.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. All things considered. But I'm really happy. I'm still feeling very strongly about the something good is coming.
Oh yeah, I mean it's it could be tonight.
Thank you, Miss.
Yeah, it could be tonight, and that's the whole thing. It's just things are changing, and what we're looking at on things. So yeah, it's a pretty cool situation. But this is the thing. I talked about storms on the East Coast. I've talked about that we're in this process, and this is the thing. It's hard for people to understand of this being part of the dismantling phases of things, but in all those areas there is evil setting, and how do you reach them? How do you get to them? So in my signal channel, I was talking about last night how don't expect this to be predictable on where it's going to end up on. And I just look at this storm as a 5D process. Don't be surprised if it turns and goes a different direction and hits a different area. Don't be surprised at all, because it's just what they showed me, that this is about dismantling. But and we're dealing with biblical, in that biblical sense, but a spiritual war going on in the last phases of this process. And I've told you over and over that they're going to take as many as they can with them down. So this is a thing. I kind of want to go into the angel process, because I talked to you about the loosh, and there's a negative energy out there that they can't foresee in the visual. It's kind of like a dark angel. And what I was getting, there's 3 left. And I think part of this process is this isolation of, we're trying to get into the firmament. Just say you're isolating the states and you're containing it. And I'm seeing these 3 beings that they're trying to take down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, before we go any further, Jenny, while you're thinking about that, let's just show people what it looks like to have a 15-foot surge of water, which is what some of these people are dealing with. So you have a good idea. So could you put that up, Grace? Watch this. Yeah. Anyway, that's a lot of water, but also water is very cleansing.
It is. It is, but I talked about these plates, and then I saw, I think last week where I was telling the circulation that's coming from the ground up in the water. So this is the thing. And I talked about I call it the plates, and it's an energy that's moving and rotating. So I believe that some of this is being built and being thrown at us in a certain frequency. So, and I got pictures of that. One kind of has San Francisco Bridge, and it has that big blue wave coming at us.
Oh wow! You have a picture of that?
That's on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
It's on Instagram, so
you can share that page if you want.
Okay, I don't know how you do that on here.
You hit the present button.
Okay, hold on.
And then it'll just say share, and then you hit share, and then you...
Well, I don't have anything on my computer, so it's not hooked up in that way for that.
Oh, so you can't do it?
No, it won't do it because I don't have it hooked up to that page. So...
I can share it, actually.
Yeah, see,
to
Instagram.
Okay,
I didn't
let me try it. This is just so you know that there's this information available.
I'll have to go. How far is that on?
Where is it? How come it doesn't come up? Okay. Wait a minute. Did I miss something? It should be sharing right now. I don't know why. Not. But
yeah, they would probably just, if you go down to my Instagram, they're going to have to go through all those because there's several of those with water submerging on there. So I think you had it earlier and now it's not up.
I just can't figure out why this isn't sharing like it should. And it comes off over on the side and the bottom. Well, there we go. That's what I was looking for. And let me scroll it a little bit.
Yeah, go down and I'll tell you where it's at, Kate. You're going to be going for a while. Yeah, keep going. It's going to take a while to get through this. There's one of them that with the storm I put up, and I shared that with the tornado, and then I always thought that there was something inside these storms creating and all that stuff too. But if you go down further, go down further. Keep going. It's one that has a bridge on the San Francisco Bridge on it too. But
the San Francisco Bridge on it.
Yeah, right there where it says "Walk through the fire," and if you push on,
right here.
No, go up. It's right
here.
Yes. So if you hit that one and open it up.
Okay.
And you see the San Francisco Bridge is in the back, and then it has the waters coming in. And this right here, the blue thing, is that frequency that's creating these waves and that's going into the ground and all that stuff too. So I'm not on this. I really need people to look at this in a 5D process, like a smart storm going in a direction. And this is the hard thing for the concept of people, the casualty that it's bringing in to those areas. But also on a picture on Instagram has Louisiana, and they show the submerge of how high that's going to go up on Louisiana. So we're in these storms that everybody's concerned with, but this is a hard process to think that these are going in a direction to take out certain buildings, bridges, symbolism, but there's casualties of these homes. And this is the one thing I've said about this. I want you to watch how fast these homes and these buildings are rebuilt. How much money is going to pour in, and it's not coming from anything you've ever seen before, and how fast it'll get cleared out. That's what you need to pay attention to. You're paying attention to the main event right now. But wait till the cleanup process comes in, because we already know that FEMA's not around. So, and that would...
They were not very nice.
Well, whatever you want to call on the actors that are playing that. And if you would have paid attention to the Chevron, you would have known that it's not part of it. So anyway, so the thing is you're going to see this all up the coast, and now you're starting to see, which I've talked about, California. Now they have storms coming into their earthquake. That's a whole different deterioration that's going to see a tragic situation because the soil is not good there. So
I remember when I used to live in California in Marina Del Rey area, because I worked at a hospital there. They said that ground was like, that whole thing was mushy. Like it wouldn't take much to make that whole area sink. And this was years ago,
right.
And they were saying that then.
Yeah, and I've done soil. They showed me on remote viewing doing a soil process and how black and liquefied it is, and how that's why you've had these earthquakes, but that downtown LA Hollywood is like a big pit, like something you would see in the Oklahoma bombing, but you're seeing it down in the ground, and it's just going to deteriorate in a different way. And a lot of people, they don't like to hear that, but that institution that's buried in those tunnels has to come down. And
that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yes, water and fire, and just submerging that in the soil that's left in some quicksand process is going to be there. I talked about those deterioration of the roads. It's everything's about deterioration. Where you got the East Coast on this process, I think those are exact targets that they're going into in those areas. How do you rebuild a society? And it's on Instagram too, where I have that quote about everything has to burn to the ground. We have to stand and watch it burn. And because that whole world is changing. And so what you need to be watching is how it's rebuilt, how fast it comes in, how much money comes in, the real money, and the real people that are going to support that and all that stuff. And I'm not talking about funding of the people. I'm talking about funding of, Nasara, I don't really reside with those names, or I've always resided with the quantum system that they've said, they presented it. So when that gets funded, but I believe they're going to be giving them a choice in a modern way of homes, in a different, advanced, futuristic. This is hard to imagine clearing out an area, and everybody thinks they're after certain materials in the ground. But if they've been paying attention to some of those institutions that are already bankrupt and they don't have no more money. So I'm just telling you, there's more going on in these situations that we're seeing. We've seen these scenes, these movie scenes, these process scenes, and I'm not discrediting people have passed away and whatsoever, and it's heart-wrenching and all that stuff. But they're in these valleys where there's stuff that is in the ground that I've talked about for a long time that has to be surfaced. And whether it is things that are hidden deeply in there, whether they're setting fire or they're drowning them out, and people in those areas are in the casualties of track of those situations. It's mind-boggling. It's frustrating. It's knowing that how this casualty can happen. But I want you to look at in North Carolina how they try to show you that your government doesn't give two shits.
Yeah, really.
And you're on your own to a certain degree until they show you the real money, the real funding, the real humanity process that's going to happen. So we can wake up and come together as a community And because I said those areas in that, you're talking, there's areas in there that people have things hidden in the trees, in the grounds, in the South like that. You don't want to underestimate what they can do. And you're going to make them turn a leaf into a different way. And that force of them coming together as a collective needs to happen. Getting mad, getting upset, coming together, being in a force, that's what needs to happen. Not setting in a reserve point again, because there's many people across the country right now. We don't care. We're at a point, it's on the brink, that you show up, you be there, you show your force that you're not going to allow this no more. That is the whole thing about deterioration of this government. If they realize the numbers that they have and it can take us down, that's the thing that matters. It's the numbers that we have to show our force in this. You're going to see it more on this situation after Florida, and maybe as it turns a different storm direction, you're going to see things change. So don't underestimate and don't look to the news to be honest about what the storm's doing. You need to be looking at other weather patterns and stuff that in society that you can trust the information. Because I've already learned you can't trust the news. You can't trust what you're seeing on there because they're misleading. They're all already connected to the media anyway. We already know that. So you need to be really looking at this and then watching the waters. Like Shepard has told you that over and over. And this is where those plates come in, resurface when they did the remote viewing. So there's a force coming within our Earth that's pushing stuff up. And I saw, I don't know, 5, 6 circle motions. I'm talking about tonight on my channel on that, those circulation motions that are detecting and that are coming to the surface. So how this water's creating, getting big, you're seeing it, but you're not. You're only seeing for what TV is showing you, but majorly some of the TikToks and stuff like that, they're showing you how these tornadoes look different, how they're coming down, how these storms are creating. You need to get outside the box. And then I told people, you need to be taking pictures. You need to be looking around the storm because things are changing.
Relying on somebody that's actually there.
Yes.
And can take pictures. Everybody's got a cell phone. Use it for pictures. It's very important because the real pictures and information about what's going on will have to come from the people. Look at what has happened in North Carolina. One of the things that they demonstrated was that the government's not going to do anything for you. They'll give you $750, which is like a slap in the face when they're
that was deliberate though.
Yeah,
it was deliberate.
Yeah, and then they steal their land if they can't pay it back. Well, how are they going to pay it back? It's ridiculous. But anyway,
no one would sign that in the first place. No, I'm going to tell you, the people of the South, they would tell you to fuck off with $750, and they don't care. There's poverty areas in there. They're not going to take that. They're not going to sign for that at all. That's not even negotiable to them. They will swallow their pride and say, I'll do it on my damn own. I'm serious.
And that's exactly what they're doing.
Yes, that's what we need. That's what we need.
And that's forcing people to come together to help each other.
Right. That's
you can't just
the
be by yourself anymore.
That's a collective. So I had a client call me, and he said to me, Jen, what do I need to do? What does Spirit need us to do? And I said, and then I've talked about this with the angelic presence. I go, it's not man that's going to save you anymore. It's not your government that's going to save you anymore. This is the core that we go into with the angelic presence that you trust and you can't lie or bullshit your way. It's coming from the heart of your intentions of what you really need from them. And it showed you in many forms of writings of certain horns that need to be rang to call in the angels. The angels have been on the deck clock showing you the signs on many forms of this. You cannot, there are presence that many on many platforms have put down. Let me tell you, the abundance of the light that they carry is in millions. And so I told him, you take a circle motion of vehicles and you play that song and you let them hear, and you ask for the light to protect you as you are taking care of your community. You have this, I don't care if you go to church or you have any different type of religion or Buddhism. This is where you have to believe in it. This is where the faith has to come in, that you actually believe in them, those beings, to the core of your soul. All the way. This is at the edge. This is not faking it. This is not adding, some persona to it. This is where you really, to the core of those communities, have to say, you know what? We got to give this to the light. We got to give this to the angels, because they've been there time and time and have got us out of situations before. Same thing with this storm. You have to look up, and like I've been saying, look into the sky, pay attention what's going on. There's an activity what's going on that's bigger than man on this situation. And so this is where the collective of the light and us as human beings need to step in and pull that light in.
So this isn't about country or God necessarily. It's about you. It's about you getting your connection with God, who is pure love, spiritual energy, the most supreme and powerful, supernatural, pure being that there is, who created humanity. Okay.
Look in Florida, look in North Carolina, look where most of these people are doing right now. They're in darkness. They're in their houses. They have no electricity. They don't have nothing. What do they have that has their hope right now? And it is their faith. And this is the time you have to call it in. Because that energy alone changes everything. And we have to have faith in that, because it's not man, it's not the government that's going to change this situation right now. But if we pull through this, and something like, I need people to pay attention, creative, that is phenomenal that happens through this, that's where you need to understand your power as a collective together. What is the lesson through? You see more humble people when people are down and they have nothing. They work as one together. That is what it's always been. That is why society has occupied us with phones and computers and TV and sports. It doesn't do any good. We're down to the wire on this situation. Our world is crumbling. We are standing in the fire, which I've said over and over. Now it's showtime.
Well, here's the thing too, Jenny. People say, if you are chosen to incarnate on 3D Earth plane, you are known in heaven as a very courageous individual, because no one else would. They consider you extremely brave to be here. So.
Right.
Start concentrating on that light within and know who you really are, and remember who you are. You are a part of the God of all that is.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Creator. Yeah. And I did a picture. Creator is leading us this time. And that's why I say the calling, this is why they hit, the bells, ringing the bells, having everybody ring a bell up the coast. Bell, 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 bell. I don't care. All the negative energy can't deal with the bells. That's why it's hidden. And playing on YouTube the shofar horn over and over and over and over. Keep that ringing. Keep that ringing. Because nothing negative wants to go near that. So this is literally we have to stand as individual light beings and warriors and saying, enough is enough. And if we have to call in the light on a pure level of Yeshua and that collective and all that stuff, it's time to do it. People need to stop saying they believe, and they really have to take this to the level. This is completely the Red Sea process. As we divide the oceans, we're literally dividing. But I've walked in this, and I've seen some miracles that has happened by your thought process for going in a direction. And this is the thing I would tell people, that the millisecond that you think of the light and focus on Creator, do not go in doubt, because that is so powerful in a direction. And so this is where the people need to stand together, hand in hand, frequency and frequency, bell and bell. But this is where it is going to divide, because the negative does not want this.
So people, part of what's happening is people are breaking down their identity. It's not about who you were in the 3D realm,
right,
or what position you held, or how rich you were, or any of that.
Right.
None of that's going to hold up anymore.
It's all gone.
Sorry, it's gone. And the entire earth is changing. And there's going to be such a big change that people, it's going to be profound. I don't know how.
Right, it is. And that's the whole thing, that we're in this collective light. And this is why I always said, at the end of the storm, this will bring you to your knees and make you humble. You're in the storm. This is what I'm going to tell you right now. You guys are waiting for popcorn. You're waiting for this. You're in it. It's already here. And I don't know how much more I can tell people. You're already walking through the process of this. The whole process of the awakening. We're here. We're in it. It's time to use that shield. It's time to use those skills that you had at a very young age, that the baby boomers and the X generation, they know. They know. This is what you're here for. Step into that with no fear, and step up for your communities, and finally, march into that, because that's the whole thing. The numbers will annihilate the situation. Then you will see a white energy of the light that starts to accumulate in that power. That's the whole thing. This is where we're at. This is the strength we need to be in. This is the faith we need to walk in. There's no more entertaining. There's no more of that, because this is about the truth.
Right. And this is about the change that's coming forward, and it's a big change. We are jumping dimensions, and our bodies are changing in the process as well. And it's so important for people to think positive all the time. Just like Jenny was saying, don't let doubt be in there, because that takes away. Because we're going to be hit with more waves of light and love. It's coming. Mm-hmm. It's already happening. And if you'll start feeling it more and more all the time.
We're walking in that crystal line that we've already felt. We're already going through these emotions. We're already going through this shaking. We're already going through this freezing. We're always going through this downloading already. And that's been happening since April. Since they changed that sun that I know that's going to get changed out. You want to go look at some reality on thing? Go look at the deck clock a couple days ago. It shows that. It shows the gold particle that's coming down that's going to upgrade us. That I've on almost anything on Instagram, I have that gold particle everywhere. That's going to align us in that, and that light, that fake light's behind that scene. And then you see the original light, which shows the pillars and that original light to come down and reflect onto us. We're going into the golden ages. Trump, in that speech the other day, he went back to, he rang bells. He rang bells, and he brought in a larger frequency of tone of an opera singer to reaches to those angelic presence. He's telling you, they're here. They're here.
They are. And a lot of them. And so
Yeah,
that's
and
it.
so
Do people know that the bells drive? Well, maybe you said
demons,
this already. They drive
crazy.
demons nuts. They can't handle it. It makes them leave.
Yeah. So most of my students and clients, I say carry the bells in the car, anywhere that you need to go to take it, to use it. I mean, I don't care. I mean, it works. Spirit showed me that a long time ago when I did a clearing in any dark place. Start ringing the bell. Start ringing the bell, and they move away from it instantly. So that's the thing about this is the humbleness when the storm is done, completely done. And like I said, the pink fog will create on Earth, and that the negative will turn to a dust particle. All you're going to see is this black dust that's just dissipating. It cannot exist in that type of light. Our world is changing into a different frequency. It's uncomfortable for us, but to get there, we have to dismantle these negatives. That's why you have this loose energy and these three last beings that are flying around trying to figure out how the hell to keep this matrix process still going, and it doesn't have any food left. And so there are, people use the word legions wrong in angels, because there are millions and millions in people had their own experience with those angels, how they've saved each individual in many situations, car accidents, fires, everything. They're there. The stories. So you need to pull them in. That's just something that's true to the heart and the core of me, of feeling that frequency and knowing it. If you do that, you're going to see miracles in a different way you've never seen before.
And we're technically being set up for that, actually, as Mother Gaia is working on making changes on the Earth grid.
The female
grid.
energy. The female energy is rooted down into the core of the planet right now. It's rooted. It's alive. It's a seed that's blossoming, and it's affecting all these females across this planet now. They're feeling different. They're taking on emotion different. They're reseeding. They're redeveloping. It's rebalancing. It's coming. You can't, and they can't stop it. We're going into this. What was the ad that you saw on that? It was the on that you were talking about for Gail. Sorry.
Oh, that's right. That. Let me share my screen. Well, I want you to see this. People will like. Oops, wait a minute. That's not where I wanted to go. Present. I hit settings. That's the wrong one. And let me go. Hang on here, guys. I'll be here in a minute. Here it is. And then I have to share it, and then I got to go back to it and make it bigger. So bear with me. Start it. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. Stop sharing. Wait a minute. Race, can I ask you to come in and start this? I don't know why it's not. I don't know what to do with it once it's on the bottom there. I don't know how to get it up. I want to share my screen. It comes up beside in the side. I don't know how to make it show.
Did you present and share screen?
Yes. And this is what I'd like to be able to share. But I don't know how to get it up on. Oh, you got it up on the screen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now I'm going to start this. You'll find this very interesting, I'm sure. Listen closely.
I feel like I'm nesting. I'm scrubbing my bathroom, the floors, the baseboards. I'm nesting. I've had 4 children. I've been pregnant 4 times. I know what it feels like. I'm nesting, like I'm about to give birth to something, and I assume this is like collective-wise a birth. And I wanted to tell y'all the whole full scoop about what I experienced inside this hurricane last night, because I found myself with ease, able to connect to it, able to communicate and move around within it. There is indeed basically like evil aura magic inside of it. So like concentrated parasitic negative energy is kind of woven into it. But Mama is at work. Okay, Mama Gaia, she's at work. She's gone. I'm telling you, Buck Wild. She is very involved in this. She explained to me and all the elements, because it was a whole. First of all, I saw y'all around that storm last night. Angels everywhere. We had literally, if you can imagine it, a whole dance party around that storm. I saw you guys fill it with joy and innocence and beauty. And I moved in and out of it. I communicated with every consciousness in it, even the evil ones. I just communicated. I moved through it. I wanted to take stock. What is actually happening before I go touching shit? I want to go see what is going on. And I could indeed see the evil aura, and I did indeed neutralize it, and it took some effort, but we all neutralized it. It wasn't just me. We're all there. You should see the beautiful hearts and minds that were flying around that storm with me. Your intention reached where you sent it. And Mama said, you have to let me do this. I need the humans to support me, not work against me. They need your tongues wagging about the power of nature more than tongues wagging about the power of the creatures, the controllers. This is very important. That's the way we shift this tide. It doesn't mean we ignore everything. It means that we speak life into Mama. We speak life into the natural processes. When we wag our tongues as creator beings, it needs to be speaking life. It's so important right now. A lot of energy is being fed to these creatures because you're so confident about their shit. I need to hear more confidence about our shit. She needs to hear more confidence about what we are doing. I can feel this so strongly. She needs the humans on her side. And she has fully explained, yes, there will be loss, but this has to happen. I also saw these things inside of it that I couldn't distinguish whether they were Dyson spheres or Angelics. I really don't know, but they were these golden wheels within wheels within wheels just spinning all around it. There are nanoparticles. There's concentrated crystal evil aura. There's these nanocrystals inside of it that carry a concentrated evil, which is like a concentrated, again, a parasitic, life-taking with no end type of energy. So there's what you're watching is the manipulation and then Gaia's response to it. The manipulation and humanity's response to it. The manipulation and nature's response to it. What you're seeing is all of that combined. So the severity is aside from the manipulation, there's also the additional battle that you're watching. This is a fight for humanity. She said, if I don't get this evil off of this planet, you're all going to perish. It is the only way that we all get saved is if I buck and you support me in it. I still feel this. I feel such beauty around this storm. I know that seems counterintuitive. There's beauty. I'm fascinated by the power that's inside of it. I'm fascinated by the quasi-dimensional structures that I saw moving within it. Like we have help from cross-dimensional everywhere. And the sky is full. I mean, we're not alone at all. The sky is literally full of all these beings. They're all around us. We're waking up. Our fires are coming back on. Please do not carry any, please don't carry any defeated or negative attitude. And please stop speaking so much faith over the creeps and have faith over us. I swear to you, we are pulling this out. There will be destruction. There will be loss, but please trust that you're part of a huge design, and Mama Gaia is at the wheel, and we are all prepared for this.
Okay, so let me talk about this angelic presence. They said there's a seal above that they have, and I talked about this angelic presence. Now, this is the thing. Gaia works as a collective with many other females. She's this nature mother, but she has these other collective ones that have come in. And there's been one that has been chosen for many, many times of walking in the stairway to heaven. And the process of waiting for this process to be presented to us, and this female energy that I talked about, and I told you, we had a private discussion that these women in their 50s, or their bodies is changing and it's coming back online, and we're not happy of how it's doing, because it was a dead dormant situation, and now these women are like, what's going on with our bodies? So we're replanting, we're rejuvenating. The old system wanted to suppress us and say, well, you're done at 50 some years old and then it's done. Well, we're rejuvenating and going into another bracket of the light. But let me tell you what's above that she's not completely understanding in the video. It's angelic. It's angelic because at the last process of this step it was always going to be a spiritual war. And Michael will be crushing Satan's face into the ground and putting him down for 1,000 years. Thousands. So
that picture.
Right. And tonight I'm doing a video, and I did an extended drawing on this. I did 2 hours last week on 2 hours of it about talking about this presence. And that was just a week ago. So it's here, it's alive, it's online, but the collective of Gaia and all these other females that are all in a circle motion, that she's picking up that motion of those keys that are around, because that's how it works. Again, it's on Instagram. I already did the drawing about a year and a half ago. This collective of this female is back online. It's back online. So these women that are in their 50s, they're coming online again. So that's all changing. It's rejuvenating. Not that we like feeling all this stuff that's going through our system. We're not happy with it, but it's coming back online. So when I picked up that energy, and that's where people as an individual pay attention how your body's reacting in a female way, like an electrical system that's coming back online. It's all rooted to the very core of this planet, very core. So Gaia is in control of that nature, that process, the vagina, and they show me a gold trim around that and how it's rejuvenating. The whole process of this is changing. That female energy is coming back in. It's going to come in a strong way, and it's not going anywhere.
It's love energy, nurturing energy.
Yes.
And it's
so that energy above the storm is the angelics you have to call in.
So just know that you have all that support, and also know that you are a light warrior, or you wouldn't be here, or a light worker. You have humanity needs to step up and recognize their divine inner spark, and know that you're connected to the source of all that is, and to do the will of that being is to help others, to be loving and kind, and to do whatever you can to, support the planet and other people and things of that nature.
So, it would be interesting, like I said, we're on a remote viewing, of getting many of these remote viewers together. And like I always do remote viewing, completely blindfolded, of seeing like the angelic presence and picking that up. And I am doing that with my students right now, and they are picking up a lot of details, and they're feeling it. feeling angels is a completely different perception. It's a different love. It's interwoven into your soul. See, you have to understand, angels have a love. They can love something evil and still have love and compassion for it, and know that it has to be dismantled, but still have the compassion for it. So to understand that in a humanity way, and it flows through us, and that's where they talk about the angels knew better. They had the knowledge more than man did on certain levels, and so you're sensing that, you're feeling that, you're being guided by that. And so we're going back to these times of these seals that need to be broken. And it is Creator's left arm and right arm of trust, complete trust on that. But there's that female energy, which is a completely different source that's moving in motion and knows what it needs to do. And part of that whole Gaia thing is it's all purity in a different way.
Awesome. Well, we haven't spoken very much about demons. We mostly talked about the angelic presence. How serious do you think the demonic presence is? And do you think some people are possessed and things of that?
Well, yeah, because you're seeing it in... Okay, people in a 3D that see it as that's a normal world and you're going to, that is a priority. They're reacting on everything, in where they eat, traffic stops, Walmarts, anywhere they go, they're reacting in a way that a demonic would react. Everything flares them up, everything triggers them. They're not thinking with compassion, empathy, sympathy. There's a checkout process that's happening in these. And I told you, and I think I told many people, I saw New York, there's a standstill of these souls just freezing and never functioning again. It's here. It's like that air that's going to dismantle the negative. It's coming. You know, so it's here, but it's not outside in the way that you think it's outside the soul. It's inside the soul. There's nothing left to work off of anymore. That loosh is not working. And so these demonics that are inside these souls are malfunctioning. And so they're triggering and they're expressing outside, and they're trying to pull you in and trying to do whatever they can to get you to react. And that's where you have to stay in the light and not work in the fear. A bell, see how they react to bells, but carrying bells everywhere.
Sometimes.
So you're in that process right now. And you're seeing it because the soul's not there. You could see it. It's checked out. It's gone. It's exited. And so you're seeing a physical body with nothing in there. And then these people think, we got to save them. We got to save them. No, we're back. We're at past that process of saving them. There's no saving them. They're going to freeze in one moment, and they're not going to move again when that process happens. That's, you know, when you go to complete possession and, you know, there's nothing left to save. They have no compassion for animals. They have no compassion for humans. In that process.
Then we have NPCs, and they're going to blank out too.
Yes. They're going to freeze up too. So you're really going to understand how many humans are here and how many are not.
All right. Well, we're going to have to wind this up. We have about 3 or 4, 5 minutes left. And I think I'd just like to emphasize that people know that you wouldn't be here if you wouldn't you chose to incarnate, and you were allowed to incarnate because of you're courageous and you're brave, and you came down here to do a job. So let's step up and get this job done.
Right. So we can go home.
The real home.
Yes.
The way it started in reality, which is a much higher vibration and much more joy, much more love, much more happiness.
Right.
A whole entirely new and different and loving realm where love waves are predominant, not negative. Do you have anything else you want to say?
If there's anything I can say, we're at the verge of humanity having to step up. There is no turning the cheek. There is no turning the direction and looking for someone else to take care of it.
Yeah.
You have to step into this. You have to understand the personality that you have and the true core of that soul saying, this is where I need to step in. That is that relationship with Creator that you're like, this is why I'm here. On the brink of this. There's no more, you're going to sit back and not do anything. That is over in this world. That does not exist anymore. You have to step in to your ownership of how you need to contribute to humanity. So
we're a collective, we're a group, and we love each other, and we need to take care of each other, and we need to get back to that. It's no more every man for himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, every man together,
right.
Helping each other. And being positive is really important too.
Right. Staying out of the negative.
So just know it's happening. We're in the storm, and the storm is cleansing the planet. Remember that. That's important. And send your love waves out too. So be kind, be loving, and do what you can to help others. And you can recognize people that are not of the light by the.
Right. That's evident now.
Okay. Thank you, Teresa.
So everybody knows how to contact me. You can contact me for classes, readings, and information. So,
yes, so your Instagram page is all full of very good information.
Yeah, predictions.
Right. And please.
And then I'm doing a 2-hour another YouTube tonight and more of the drawings on my YouTube tonight too. So I mean, I'm just going into more information after this for in-depth insight on things. So it should be interesting.
All right. Well, I guess that's a wrap. Sending love and understanding and everything to everyone. And stand in your power. Know who you are. Remember who you are. We're coming back online. Get ready. A lot's coming forward. So, with that said, thank you. And
stay in the light.
Stay in the light. And shine your light. Are we back on for some reason?
No, I think so.
Hi, everybody. Are we